Today on Real Pilates, we're continuing to talk about the cardiovascular system, and we're going to talk about a different kind of training. So we understand that there's anaerobic and aerobic, different kinds of cardiovascular training systems. But there is a training system that incorporates both, that is one of the most efficient ways to get the body fitter faster, and that is called interval training. High intensity training, also called HIIT, H-I-T. So interval training is really good because interval training triggers regeneration of the center of the mitochondria, which is the center of the cell, so that you can have better cellular regeneration, you can have more cells, it increases the number, and it increases the efficiency of those cells within your body. So these more efficient cells have a better insulin reception response. So that really helps bring sugar indexes down in the body, giving you a better glycemic resistance. It helps you metabolize fats and sugars better. So you're training your little cells so that they can be better equipped, they can be more efficient. You know, it's like putting on the perfect little sneakers so that they can really go and do their job fast, as opposed to, you know, letting them wear high heels that look good but don't really do much in the event of walking properly. So this interval training will help lift your aerobic fitness level. So let me talk about your fitness level. Your aerobic fitness level is a precursor to determine the longevity of your body. If you have bad aerobic fitness, you're condemning yourself to live a shorter lifespan than designed for you. So you don't have to make that much of a sacrifice to just get in a little bit of cardiovascular conditioning. The good thing about the interval training is that you can get a faster result in a smaller amount of time. So what is the interval training? The interval training is that you come out of aerobic into anaerobic for a short burst of time, and then you recover. So I'm going to be talking about exactly how to do that, but it's important to know that you first do a proper warm-up, and then you do a structured set. So the longer the effort, the less intense. The shorter the effort, the higher the intensity. So if you're going to be starting to do interval training and you haven't been doing much cardio or fitness training for whatever reason, it's preferable to start with a longer interval that's lower in intensity, that has an equal or longer resting time, so that you can ease into it. It's super important to not just jump into any cardiovascular activity if you have a history of heart issues, if you haven't been to a doctor in a bajillion years, if you haven't been physically active in a while. It's always excellent to go and have a doctor check your blood pressure and check your vitals and make sure that everything is tip-top. You don't want to go for a long drive unless you have oil in the motor, do you? So it's the same thing for the body. I want to stress the importance of not always looking at the scale and getting neurotic with your scale, because as you start cardiovascular activity or you start doing more strength training, your body will metabolize fat and turn it into muscle, not the actual fat. It'll just make muscle and burn the fat, right? And so you can weigh the same, attenzione, or even start to weigh more, and you've lost fat and built lean, strong muscle fiber. So the scale is not always accurate. Your clothes are accurate. They're little tools that you can measure body fat that are just little calipers. They're cheap. Don't go for any of those expensive infrared body fat measurements. Those scales that you stand on, they're not very accurate. I will tell you right now, If you have a thicker calluses of your foot, if you have a higher bone density like me, I get on those scales and those scales put me at 40% body fat, which is absolutely ridiculous because I can measure myself with the calipers and I know that I go between 12 and 15%. For my age at 70, it's off the charts. At my age, if you're anywhere, beneath 20, 25, you're doing excellent. So don't over obsess with the scales. You don't need to be an elite athlete to do intervals. You can do intervals with your grandma. Yes, walking. It's about doing a little warm up, then changing that pace, even if you do 5 steps quicker, and then go back to your pace when you feel recovered. Do another 5 or 10 steps quicker, and then recover. You don't have to start off with a lot of sets. You can do 3 of those, 5 of those, and call it a day. So in a 15-minute, 20-minute cardio session, you can do some intervals that are gonna ramp up your metabolic rate and burn calories as if you did an hour of cardio. I love intervals. We're going to be talking more about them. This is Pilates Master Nikki. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in class.